we get to introduce you to our alumni panel. And these are students who participated in ISCOPES last year. And we're so excited to have all of their bright shining faces here today to share with you about their ISCOPES experience. We really hope that you take advantage of this time with them because these are truly the experts when it comes to ISCOPES and what ISCOPES is all about, especially from a student perspective. So they're going to share a little bit about their stories, and then towards the end we'll do questions and answers. You folks do have to step out a little early, so if any of those folks you have specific questions for, we can always take those and make sure that that gets to the right person after the panel is over. But in the spirit of keeping everybody on time and getting everybody back to class or work on time, we want to make sure that we give everybody a chance to speak before we do questions and answers. So thank you guys for coming. Make sure to eat plenty while you're here. We have a ton of food in the back. And please give these folks a round of applause and you're invited to questions.
Hi everyone, I'm Krista Lee. I'm a second year MPH student studying global health communication. I'm from Boston, in New York. Woo! Okay, that's fine. So I did Healthy Teen Scholars this past year. So basically we worked with teens in the DC area. So we were at Anacostia High School and at Dunbar High School. And we hosted, or helped students host a blood drive, we did a clothing drive, a career fair, went to a minority conference, a few variety of things we did throughout the year. And it's pretty awesome to do it. I was working with youth, and they have a lot of zesty personalities, and a lot of attitude, which is really fun to work with really early in the morning on Friday. So that's awesome. But a quick story. So for example, I took about 6 or 7 students to a minority health conference this past May, I believe. Basically, they helped monitor the event. They helped with presentations. They helped with taking photos. They helped with speakers, things like that. And towards the end of the event, it was based on youth engagement, the entire conference. And at the end of the event, we had a debrief about it. And basically, they were just, I don't know why these adults, and they know what we need. They don't know anything. We don't know what we need. So I got to challenge them to speak up and sort of say, well, when you're in the presentation, challenge them, ask questions, like figure out what you need, what to say, all that good stuff. So it was nice seeing them actually step up on the plate and participating in the entire experience. It was fun for me and for them. During our blood drive, we had a lot of volunteers and a lot of funny stories about people fainting, not fainting, but like wanting to faint or thinking about how does blood work? Like, your arms too step free. So a lot of really funny questions they asked. It was also pretty fun too. But I loved it. It's challenging sometimes depending on the team dynamic and events that are out of your control and whatnot. But it's a really good thing to do for me, at least because I learned how I work on a team, how I work in a group, and what my role is. So sometimes I can be the person who's leading the group, I should be like the encourager, screaming about the event and getting everyone excited about it. I could be the mean one sometimes, get things done. So the role kind of changes throughout the entire year, so working with your team is really important. Pretty much it. If you have questions, I'll answer them. Yeah. Do what I suppose here.
Alright, my name is Jay. I'm an MS1 first year medical student at GW. And I've been working for ISCOPES for 2 years. And met these wonderful people, and Angie and Donna. They are everyone else especially. So I work with the veterans team with Regina over here.
Yes, I'm Regina Sanders in the second year MPH Health Policy track.
Yes. We have about 7 people on our team.
We have a very small team, and we're really not the first Veterans History project I spoke to.
Yeah.
So it was kind of tested out for us, and I enjoyed it a lot. We all got pretty close, and again, it's early morning on Friday. You should really like the team that you're working with. I think we got very lucky.
Yeah.
We set pretty realistic goals. The way the Veterans History Project works is it's sort of through the Library of Congress. They're trying to record the personal histories of men and women who served in the United States Armed Forces. You can actually see photos of us. I think there's one of us interviewing. And our plan was to have 4 interviews recorded by the end of our term, and we met our goal. In addition, we would go to the VA Center. They do monthly birthdays for veterans. We would help out with that. We wobbled Yeah, see what happens. I actually want to get up here as well, just to talk about our team, but Jason, no.
So basically, we did, every team has their own projects, and if I had brought something that I really want to work on, I just say, hey, Paul Shitty was our coach. He's wonderful, and he was a wonderful person, and I learned a lot from him. And you just say, I want to do this, I want to do this way, and everyone will get together and start changing, making an impact. It's not, they just don't want, you don't have like destiny like things to do. Everyone can participate, everyone can change things, and if you have like a great idea, we all cooperate to make that happen. This year we did Veterans History Project. We interviewed veterans, that was our goal, and it was very humbling experience to meet veterans to talk about their experience, and we sent it to the Library of Congress. Let's see, several times we went to the A Center to celebrate George's birthday. Was it 104, 105's birthday?
Yes.
And
Most people well over 100 years old, still sharp.
We went to VA Center. All these ideas, we went to VA Center. Donna and I went to bowling for veterans service. Okay.
We did Thanksgiving cards, we did Christmas cards, birthday cards.
Yeah, and
Little things.
the best thing about ISCOPES is that it's not just volunteer, but we also, it's a huge experience. So every time we do something big whole event with all the teams together, we did pretty fun events that we learned.
You were a good group.
We were,
Yeah.
and we meet so many amazing people. These people are pretty cool. But I mean, it's not like any volunteer experience. A lot of people say, it's just volunteer, but you learn. Coaches especially really help you out. Learn a lot from leadership, bravery, all this like really strong characters. The guys do it the right way, and we have sometimes stress. People don't communicate, and Angie and Donna help us out. Grow as a person. It's not just volunteer, but you also learn a lot.
One of the greatest sort of things that I think we did was we had a screening of Honor Flight, which is sort of, it started with this one town business, sort of shipping veterans into the World War II Memorial, and we actually got the director here. We had a pretty good turnout for that. And if you go to the World War II Memorial any given Sunday, you can actually see Honor Flight happening.
So this is just one team, this is just veterans team. There's helping people, there's other teams that make their own things, they have their own ideas, they make that happen, they go to their own sites. With high school Dunbar, I went to Blood Drive, and that was really fun working with kids and just leading the whole thing out. That was really fun. So every team has their own thing. If you have ideas to help our community, you just talk to Angie about it, and she'll definitely help. Everyone will help you out to make that happen, and you learn a lot.
Mr. Grimes will wonder if anybody has questions about veterans.
Well, we can do it as a team, sticking to kind of the theme, I guess. There's 4 of us here from Adult Health Literacy. I'm Lauren, I'm a second year MPH epidemiology student.
I'm Adnan. I am a junior studying biology and public health. I have very unique experiences with ISCOPES. As a freshman, I worked with Angie and Donna and Sarah. And I also did with Crystalline and a few other people. We did the alternative spring break here, and we worked with veterans. And that was also
I'm Courtney. I was again also part of this team. I am a global MAMPH student. MA is the International Development Studies Program at the Elliott School, and an MPH in the Global Health Program. My name is Israel Gomez. I was also part of the Adult Health Literacy team, and I'm a second year Global Health Policy MPH.
So I guess a good way to start off with our kind of theme, we have 3 different partner sites. So we were a pretty busy team. But how many of you are new to DC? Okay, so I was new to DC too. I had never been before. And I was like, okay, this is a great way to meet people. And it was. It was a great way to meet people within the program, within the school, but not only that, within the community as well. I don't think I would have gotten a chance to go out to Silver Spring or to go over to Noma and meet people from those different places if it hadn't been for this program. And after a while, you know, like the first few times, it's kind of like new, they're really excited to see you. But then by the end of the year, we were having conversations with people about their children, and they remembered us, and we build relationships with people in the community. And I think that's kind of the core of ISCOPES in general, is building these relationships. It's not, yeah, we would go out and we would talk about blood pressure or how heart disease works. That was, you know, that was kind of like the overall topic. But it wasn't us lecturing, it was more of a conversation, and that's really what it was. It was building these relationships with each other and with the community. And I don't think that's something you're going to get outside of here. I mean, you might, but ISCOPES kind of puts these relationships right at your fingertips and allows you to make those connections with your community, which ultimately is going to make you a better healthcare professional, you know, whether it's public health, medicine, anything it is, you need to know your demographic, that you're the people that you're working with, and the best way to do that is to build relationships.
All in that same vein, usually you get to know your group pretty well, and we're from all different programs, really, and levels and background states. And whether you're easy or not is a really great way to network. I'm realizing even now that some of the things that I'm getting involved with, I think I only found out about through my involvement with ISCOPES. So it's more valuable the further out I go.
Yeah, I completely agree. One of the things that ISCOPES really helps you with is that they don't just throw you into the water and expect you to swim. They give you a lot of floaters, and then eventually by the end you don't really need those and you're swimming around in the pool on your own. And they give you packets with information. You learn as a team. You get our packets as well from our experiences and what we give you as sort of feedback to what can help you with your module, but it's not set in stone, so you make it your own. You work together to make it your own. Add things that you think would make it better, or things that you would think that would be more relatable to your demographic, as Lauren was saying. So that's one of the things that I found most helpful about ISCOPES and the way that they introduce you to this demographic, to these opportunities, but they help you throughout that process.
They give a lot for us, but they also don't just tell you what to do. It's a good learning experience. It's not just serving DC, we're also learning so much. I learned a lot about myself. Being a part of a team, you kind of get to see, you know, what role you play inside a team. You learn a lot about yourself. You don't just, learn about the DC community. I learned a lot about myself, especially as an undergraduate. There's a few of us I think there's 2 others in the team, and a few others like in different communities. And I don't know, I just thought it was a very special experience, and I learned so much about myself, so much about DC, and so much about the different issues that we have.
So, senior wellness for last. My name is Mamta. I'm a second year MD student in environmental health and occupational department.
I'm Erin Maria. I'm an MPH student in the health policy track.
So, our senior wellness has 2 sites, one at Silicon Plaza over in Northeast and another one closer to campus. So, we set it up every time we go to the site, we would have healthy eating, exercise, kind of like mental health kind of project, arts class, seniors, and then physical activity with them. So something that's really crucial is to really know your audience. Sometimes projects don't go well, or they don't really, not what we thought would go. So using that time to get to know the seniors, and a lot of them really by themselves or have families right away. So for them, they just really want to talk to us, want to know our story, and then we build relationships with the community. And so sometimes in the project, they go not very vision, it's still a valuable opportunity to actually get to build relationships with seniors. And we had a blast. We did like swing dances with them, we brought colleagues to come to the day, and they really get like into it. Like they want their picture taken with like whatever they created. It's something for them to like take home out of the event as something that's positive to the background. Something I really liked was being able to bring our own backgrounds and knowledge into the different events that we did. So the swing dancing, one of our group members was a swing dance instructor, and so he led a swing dance activity, and it was really fun. They all loved it so much. And with my environmental health background, I was able to talk about like
organic food and different things. I talked about like food miles, which I think kind of went over their head, but at least they heard about it, so that's cool.
Yeah, I think the first couple events, they were kind of like feeling missed out. Our first event, we brought spaghetti squash to them, and they were asking, like, where's the candy? Like, where's the cookies? And we're like, ooh, it's like spaghetti squash. And 2 people were like brave enough to be like, oh yeah, I love this. And then the other seniors were kind of just like, once a couple people tested it, they're like, where's my plate? Like, you forgot to give me like my helping. And we're like, oh, okay. And we brought 2 squashes, and they were completely gone. Like, they would have asking for more. So it's definitely getting to know them. Like, a lot of our healthy food things were doing it in the microwave, something that they can do on their own. So it's really good getting to know them. Like, we're not going to be doing Zumba with them. We're going to do like chair aerobics, and that's something we even learned like, too. Like, we watch YouTube videos together. So it's just during that too, we got to know each other pretty well. We got to know our hobbies of like running ourselves, like swing dancing, and we were able to be certain events, which is really wonderful.
Quick comment. So I know we're all painting like a very happy, like rainbows and flowers photo of ISCOPES, but there are times when it's challenging, where you might plan an event and like the day of the event, the school might say they can't do it for whatever reason, or members have exams and things don't go the way they're planned. So like I love ISCOPES, but it is challenging. So when you go into ISCOPES, make sure you're committed to it. Not better word to use. Don't have, but like go the whole way. Like be committed to it, be part of the team, and I know you have other things to do going on, like schoolwork and like life issues, but like if you're on ISCOPES, please be on the team, like be present and be there. It's not fair to your other teammates as well.
I'm going to tack on to what she said. It is a fit class. It is a time commitment. Please be committed. Do not drop out.
And I think, and I'm gonna third wheel onto that one, to just say that, yeah, it is this big commitment and you should be committed and it is like the class, but communication with your team is tough. So if you can't make it one week, communicate with your team, you can't make it that week, and then do something the next week, be there the next week, or make up for that absence, or just have that sort of commitment, not only to ISCOPES, but to your team.
I'll go.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, it was a commitment, like, yes, it was difficult at times, but I think that's a real reflection of just life and like careers, I can speak for myself when I say I haven't seen a heck of a lot of life outside of the classroom. I've pretty much gone through school, and there is no syllabus for life. Like, you're not gonna know when everything's happening, and you're not going to know if this exam is this day, or like for deadlines. Stuff changes, stuff gets in the way, stuff happens. And you have to be able to be flexible and be dynamic with those situations. And I think this was good practice for the real world, and it is. But like this is good practice for careers because, family stuff will come up, or other people will have things come up. And I think that if you have spent a lot of time in school and in the classroom, you haven't had a lot of like, communication with the outside world and with other people who have other commitments, it's kind of hard to see that until you're thrown into the situation. And to have the members of like your team and the leadership team and everyone else behind you, it's not it's a good
You have support though. You are very much supported by the leadership team and your teammates. So send that in there. Other questions?
So a couple things that you guys pointed out that I just want to make sure I highlight for everybody. Because I know for some of you, this is the first time you're getting information about ISCOPES, and maybe you're kind of trying to figure out still what ISCOPES is. So a couple things that you guys pointed out that are important. So it is a service learning program. So there is a big learning component to ISCOPES as well as a big service component to ISCOPES. And that learning does come from our office, but it also most importantly comes from your teammates as well as from the people that you get to meet in the community. So that's really important to highlight because, like some of these guys have pointed out, your kind of education into the real world, if you will, for those of you who haven't had as much job experience, this is a good stepping stone for that, but it's also a good chance for those of you who have had a lot of real world experience to bring that to the academic environment. It's really important that we keep people kind of locked into what reality is like when you're employing the skills that you're learning in the classroom in the field, because you're right, it doesn't always go according to what the book says. So developing your capacity to be flexible, developing your capacity to deal with ambiguity, which can be really frustrating when you're used to having all the answers, is really important. So I really wanted to thank you guys for bringing that up. I also want to thank them for bringing up the fact that ISCOPES is a challenge. Last year we had 120 people apply for 60 spots. And we chose people because we wanted to make sure, A, the teams could work well together, but B, because they seemed to be the type of people that would remain committed. ISCOPES is a commitment not just to your teammates and to yourself, it's also a commitment to your coaches, the faculty and staff that help you with your teams. It's also a commitment to the people that you serve. People get to know you, they get to know your name, they get to know about who you are and where you come from, and vice versa. And so it's really tough when you drop off and don't come back. So not only are you taking up a spot that somebody else could have taken, but you're really kind of leaving some people hanging. Now, in that regard though, I do want to make sure I emphasize that school comes first. You are first a student. And so that's important. I think Indra brought it up that, if you can't do something some week, the important thing is to communicate, because your team is going to be able to ebb and flow in terms of roles and responsibilities. That's another thing that Crystal brought up. Your role changes throughout ISCOPES, and that's great because that's kind of how it works in real life too. You kind of give and take where you can, depending on what's happening outside your work environment. So we try to emulate real life as much as possible because it is real life. This is kind of a taste of what you might experience once you leave these walls, whenever that might be. So keep those things in mind and take them to heart because they are truly telling you the honest to God truth. This is really how it rolls through ISCOPES.